I guarded myself for a long time, and I could guard myself by being in this role. And then I couldn't afford it any longer. And I opened up and I fell in love. Most romantic sense. Me, romantic, wow. And I couldn't have it the way I wanted it. And I suffered. And I cried and I raged and I was so miserable. And at the same moment, something in me was saying, "You're alive. It's happening. Good. Sit with it." I tried to manipulate the universe to get it just the way I wanted it, and I couldn't do it. And I don't understate how it hurt. And when you don't get what you want, which is what happens when someone dies you love, when a lover leaves you, when some model you've had isn't functional, I don't say there will not be grief, and there will not be mourning for your loss. And I warn you against prematurely pushing that underground. Allow plenty of time for grief. I tried very quickly to smile and say, "Oh, it's perfectly okay. It didn't hurt me. Oh, I'm fine." Because that's who I thought I was supposed to be. But it did hurt, and it kept hurting for a long time. And I had to give it plenty of space. And it's not too small. A lot of people come to me after 6 or 8 months when they've lost a loved one, and they say, "I don't understand. I can't get my life going again." I said, "You haven't even begun yet. Allow yourself at least 2 years to grieve. Go grieve some more." And then there comes a period where you've just gone through enough, and the space starts to, that little blue sky starts to develop, and if you have a meditative awareness, just that appreciation, you start to identify with the blue sky instead of the cloud. You flicker it first. And then you start to release. And often in the release there is a closing of the heart because you don't want to get hurt again. And you've got to allow that. That's still a part of the grief reaction. And a lot of you are still holding on to grief from previous hurts. And then comes the time when you start to realize you'd rather be vulnerable and be hurt than be living dead in the dead sense, not in the living sense. And you can't afford it, and you start to open again, and the whole cycle starts again. Until finally, you start to fall in love with love. You start to fall in love with truth. You start to fall in love with that of which form is but a reflection. You start to fall in love with God. You start to fall into love, into yourself. And then there is no coming and there is no going.